Hi, Scott Mathias here again. Well, in this video we're going to do a raw breakfast. Yes, I know a lot of raw people do fruit smoothies for breakfast, but you know, sometimes I want something that tastes and feels like one of the old-fashioned cereals, okay, but with a little bit more nutritional oomph. So what I do is I use buckwheat. Now, buckwheat actually is really not a wheat in the strictest sense of the word. It is totally gluten-free, and I activate these little things overnight by soaking them in water. And then what I do is I empty the water out the next morning because the activation actually releases the enzyme inhibitor. And I put them in the sun for an hour or so, spread out so that they dry naturally, or I put them in my dehydrator if there's no sun available. And they dry out beautifully. They actually taste like, dare I use the word, but they taste like rice bubbles. They're nice and crunchy, but from a nutritional point of view, they are a million times more efficient. So we're going to do a buckwheat and tropical fruit breakfast. My tropical fruit today is pineapple. Where I live, I can get a whole lot of pineapple, but you can use any fruit basically to go in the bottom of your cereal bowl. It could be any seasonal fruit, could be chopped apple, could be anything that's available. I'm going to use pineapple. So the recipe says 1/4 of a pineapple, but you don't need to use that much. You use as much as you like. Pineapple for me is really great for digestion. Fabulous for digestion and really wonderful fiber. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit of walnut, so that's buckwheat, soaked overnight and then dried the next day. 1/4 of a pineapple and some walnut, which I'll actually throw on the top. And I'm going to add some sweetness. Now that sweetness can come in the form of agave, or as the recipe says, or suggests, an organic rice syrup, which is really nice. So it's not as sweet as the agave, and the glycemic index is very, very low. So it's quite safe, okay? So all it is just natural sweetness, but it's healthy and it's totally guilt-free, all right? Now, berries. Berries then go on the top of that. I don't have any berries at the moment, so I'm going to use a pomegranate, which gives a beautiful, beautiful color. Absolutely amazing color. And I'm not going to use cow's milk in my breakfast cereal this morning. I'm going to use cashew milk. Now you remember, of course, in previous videos, the cashew milk is a byproduct of the nut cheese process. So you're either making the milk to use and you get the byproduct of the cheese, or you're making cheese to use and getting the byproduct of the milk. Either way, you've got 2 for 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just take a lovely old cereal bowl. We're going to add in some pineapple. Just put the pineapple in the bottom here. Fabulous. Going to pour the buckwheat over the top. Now you may not need it all, which is fine. So we're starting to look like serious cereal. Okay, now we're going to empty some walnuts onto it. Add some milk, which I've just give this a bit of shake. Now putting the milk on now. The milk softens up the buckwheat. All right. I love pomegranates. First of all, you get your hands really wet and red, and they come up in the most amazing color. Now don't worry about any of the stones falling out because they're crunchy as well. That's just brilliant. The color here is just astounding. It's almost like blood, it's so beautiful. And lastly, a little bit of rice syrup. And I put a good helping, equivalent to the tablespoon really, around that. And just let that finish off. And then put that back in there. And there, my dear friends, is some raw cereal. Now the picture will be at the front of the video as usual, and at the back, so you can stop on that and have a look at it. That is about 1,000,000 times more nutritious than anything you'll ever eat in your entire life. Okay, all right? So there we go. That is the raw buckwheat and tropical breakfast. So you've got pineapple, buckwheat, you've got walnuts, you have got the cashew milk, which is your milk replacement for the old dairy milk. You have got your berries or any other fruit that you want to put on the top. just to top it off, but I put pomegranate on and finished off with some rice syrup. Please enjoy. This is about as healthy as you can possibly get to start your day. Okay? So until the next video, stay well and healthy. I'm Scott Mathias. Cheerio.